Okay, guys, let's proceed to our next topic, which is working with core group of leaders. And of course, leadership development, participatory action planning. Okay, so this is a good topic to discuss. Okay, what is the core group first, no? Or group of leaders. We have to identify them and we know they are planners. Those who are in the management, they are team leadership. Okay? Team leadership is the management of group of people to achieve the desired result. The leader must motivate and inspire confidence in the members of the group. So, basic skills that they should or that they have is management skills. And of course, planning. Ito yung mga core. Ito yung mga nasa top leadership. In management kasi there is a top management, middle management, and lower management. Usually, ang nasa field ng planning ay nasa top management. Pero that is the vision, mission. Medyo napaka-general. Pero to make it specific, usually ito ay nasa middle management. And the people yung nasa lower management, yung mga supervisors, sila kasi yung mga frontline. Okay. So whether you are in the top, middle, or low management level, they should acquire some skills. Okay? And let's discuss this, yung mga skills na ito. Una, they should have an active listening skills. Okay. Nakikinig. Open sa lahat at open sa suggestion, open sa mga correction and improvement. Okay? And when we say active listening, ibig sabihin you are interacting. No? Nakikinig ka pero hindi siya passive. Okay? Alright, another one is empathy. Okay? You are putting your place in the position of the people. Okay? Meron kang passion. Nararamdaman mo ang kanilang mga pangailangan. The ability to share clear messages and make complex ideas easy to understand for everyone. This kind of ability, okay, your message is a complex ideas, no? Napakahirap intindihin. Pero you can easily convey your ideas for them to understand. No? Yung meron kang abilidad na ganon. Hindi yung salita ka ng salita, you're using highfalutin words, high words, ang tataas ng mga salita, technical words na hindi man naiintindihan. So, that's another skill. Strategic thinking skills. Okay, so strategically, meaning you are into planning, no? Are you familiar with playing chess? So, merong strategy yan. Okay? Akala mo, pakain ng pakain, pero eventually, matatalo mo yung kalaban. Okay? Kasi kain din siya ng kain. So, next one is creativity. Okay? Malikhain. Okay? The ability to inspire and convince others. Okay? Persuasion. The power of persuasion. So, ability to speak. Flexibility. You can adapt yourself. Okay? Sa mainit, sa malamig, you're flexible. Kaya mo, no, gawin. The ability to turn information into action. So, usually, yung iba, mga usap-usap lang, members of NATO, hindi yung North Atlantic Treaty Organization. They are the people who no action, talk only. Puro usap lang. Okay? That ability to turn information into action, dapat merong group, yung talagang kumikilos at gumagawa. Hindi usap lang. Okay, another one is project planning. Ability to plan, no, a certain project and to accomplish it. And active listening, we'll already discuss this. The ability to assess employees' strength and weaknesses. So may mga tao ka under you, then alam mo yung mga kilala mo yung mga employees mo or subordinates mo. What are their strengths and weaknesses? Kasi kung hindi, puro nakikita mo lang mga weaknesses nila, madali ka magalit, di ba? Dapat alamin mo yung strength, then dalhin mo sila dun sa kanilang kakayanan. Business storytelling, okay? When we talk about storytelling, it's in the power of communication, yung bang so serious business, pero you can tell it in a nice way. Okay. Time management. All right. You have time to start, time to finish. Okay. Meron ka mga alam mo kung ano yung mga time robbers, no? At paano mo siya. So alam na 'yon kailan magsisimula at matatapos. Then maging strict tayo doon sa ating oras. The ability to build trust. Okay? Kakayanan para itaguyod o itatag ang confidence. Mahirap to sa isang leader na magtiwala first of all sa leadership at sa top management, sa mga nangunguna kasi mini-measure ng mga members yan Pero once na nakuha mo ang kanilang respect, their commitment, makikita natin nandun yung confidence. And of course, strong communication skills. Marami tayong sinabi na dito sa listening and communication. Positivity, okay? Always positive, no? Hindi yung naririnig sa atin na hindi natin kaya yan or kundi kaya natin yan at matatapos yan. Okay, reliable. Okay? Ibig sabihin, once na ikaw ay nagsalita ng isang bagay, ay gagawin mo, tutuparin mo. Kasi the moment na hindi mo tinupad yan, ay sasabihin sa'yo, that person is not reliable. So, hindi mapapagkatiwalaan. Next one is management skills. Okay, how to handle people, how to handle their needs, and this is a skill, no? Alam natin kung saan natin ilalagay, etc. So, that's it. The ability to align the employees with the company values and goals. It is a part of the management skills yan. A strong leadership vision. So first of all, dapat alam mo yung pangitain o pananaw ng grupo kung ano yung dapat i-accomplish. So dapat meron tayong strong leadership vision. Lagi nating tinitingnan yan. Next one is recruiting skills. Okay? Bagas ang manager ay tinitingnan o na-measure niya yung mga tao na kailangan niya. Okay? Sa kanyang manggagawa, sa kanyang sino yung alam niya, no? Ano yung so itong tinatawag na HR, no? Human resource. Persuasion skills, no? The power to persuade. Sa pananalita to na how to convince, especially if you are CEO at kailangan mo ng mga investors, you're going to persuade people, yung mga magdo-donate sa mga community planning natin, then kailangan meron tayong skills for persuasion. Okay? The ability to help employees find meaning at work. Okay? Tulungan sila, i-train sila, and ayusin yung kanilang trabaho, etc. So, at ilalagay yan. So, this is kind of ability. Usually, nasa training part to. And, of course, strong charisma. Malalaman nila, if you're a leader, then tindig pa lang, pananalita pa lang, pananamit pa lang, that person is worth to follow. You know, that is a charisma. Okay, so these are the skills of a leader that we should possess. Okay, next is what are the advantages? Actually, maraming advantages. Now, we are now dealing with the participatory planning approach. Una, nasa core and leaders pa tayo, no? And this time, nasa planning session na or action plan na. And this kind of planning is participatory. Ibig sabihin, everyone is invited, particularly those who are in the front line. Okay, this is what we call participatory approach. Okay, one of which is everyone who has a stake in the intervention, has a voice, either in person or representation. So, nakikipag-participate at in-exercise niya yung kanyang part, no, sa isang group. Staff of the organization that will run it, members of the target population, community officials, interested citizens, and people from involved agencies, schools, and other institutions all should be invited to the table. Makikita natin yan, ginagawa yan sa City Hall, sa invited ang different sectors, nasa business, nasa market, nasa religious, and those who are in the community. Tapos ginagather nila. Okay, at meron tinatawag na one topic, no? So ito ang tawagin nito ay participatory approach. Okay. What else? Everyone's participation should be welcomed and respected. And the process shouldn't be dominated by any individual or group or by a single point of view. So, nandun sila for one purpose. Ito ang tinatawag na participatory approach to planning. Okay? So, what are the advantages of participatory planning approach? Actually, maraming advantages, no? Ito lang, kinawa ko lang. Una, participation carries with it feelings of ownership and builds a strong base for intervention in the community. Kasi pag nandun ka at nagsalita ka o hindi ka magsalita, basta nakibahagi ka, feeling mo na bahagi ka doon. Or this is the essence of ownership. No? Pwede mo siyang akin to, ganon. It ensures that the intervention will have more credibility in all segments of the community because it was planned by a group representing all segments of the community. So, ini-ensure dito yung tinatawag na more credible, no? Bakit? Kasi ang daming bahagi o maraming nag-represent. So, kung isang tao lang, siyempre, hindi masyadong credible yan. Okay. Pangatlo, bringing a broader range of people to the planning process provides access to a broader range of perspective and ideas. Mas marami, sabi nga, mas magaling. A participatory planning approach avoids pitfalls caused by ignorance of realities of the community or the target population. Kung meron mang pitfalls ay siguro konti lang. Kasi yung mga suggestions, yung mga gustong gawin ay have experienced by the people. Sasabihin, ay nagawa na natin yan, bumagsak na tayo dyan, hindi na nag-succeed yan. So, wag na natin gawin yan. So, ma-avoid na kagad. No? Kasi kung isang tao lang ang nag-plan, hindi niya nakikita. Pero the more na mayroong mga tinatawag na participation ng mga community, then nakikita yung pitfalls nito. Kung paano hindi mag-succeed ang isang project sa community. Bringing a broader range of people to the planning process provides access to a broader range of perspective and ideas. So, mas maraming ideas ang lalabas dito. Okay. Now, kung merong advantages, meron ding, of course, disadvantages. No, sa participatory process naman, takes longer. Kasi ang daming tao, ang daming nagsasalita, siyempre, talakayan yan. No, para bang sa Senado. So, tumatagal. Pero dapat meron tayong time frame. Members of the target population or the community may not agree with the experts about what is needed. Okay? Kasi iba yung nafe-feel nila, iba yung talaga. No? Yung experts naman ay more on theory. So, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na disagreement. Education may be needed for community members and the organization. So actually, kailangan naman talaga ng education sa bawat area. So pag may new things, then education should be insert. No? One determined individual can wreck the whole process if he's not handled well. So this is one disadvantage na maaaring masira ang buong proseso kung ito hindi na-handle. Sa lahat naman di ba? It may be difficult to assure that all the right people get to that table. Okay? It's really hard. It's really difficult na sino ba yung mga taong yun? Kasi baka pamparami lang. Hindi naman talaga nagsasalita. A participatory planning process takes patience and commitment on everyone's part. So, more patience. Kasi big group yan eh. Okay. So, what are the levels of participatory planning? Kasi may mga different levels yan. Yung number 1, yung information level. This is the least that you can do. Is to tell people what is planned. Okay, that is information. Okay. Another level is consultation. Yung sa consultation, you offer a number of options and listen to the feedback you get. Okay. So, meron ng parang dialogue dito and receiving feedback. Deciding together. Ito yung sa partnership. You encourage others to provide some additional ideas and options and join in deciding the best way forward. Okay? So, yun yung purpose naman to decide. Hindi lang decision, act together, acting together. Not only to do different interests decide together what is best, but they form a partnership to carry it out. So, ano yung responsibility mo, ano yung accountability mo, ano yung trabaho mo or task, then ito yung gagawin mo at ito rin gagawin ko. So, acting together. Now, supporting independent community initiatives, you help others do what they want, perhaps within a framework of grants, advice, and support provided by the resource holder. Okay, so supporting independent community initiatives. Okay, all right. Next one is, what do you need to get a participatory planning process up and running, or how to maintain this? So we have 3 things to discuss. Siyempre, we need stakeholders. Ano yung mga stakeholders? People who will do, our volunteers, our members, our sponsors, donors, yung mga nag-iisip, those who are in the management. Yan, lahat ng bahagi doon, ang tawag dyan ay stakeholders. Okay, hahanapin natin sila. I-recruit natin sila for particular project. Now, after recruiting them, convene the planning process. Ito na yung sinasabing participatory approach, no? Iko-convene natin, okay, let's go to, let's set a date, no? Like what we've done in, sa development ng Northern Batangas area. It's another district. Kasi ang Batangas is divided in district. Meron tinatawag Northern Batangas, merong Southern, merong Central. So, nag-gather ang nasa education, ang nasa business, ang nasa city. Tapos ay, kasi ang nangyari, the tendency is, ang Metro Manila ay lumalawak na hanggang makuha na maging ang Laguna area. So, nangangamba ang Batangas, baka makuha rin. So, kasi merong expansion eh. So, ang North Batangas ay nag-convene. No? And I was part of the convention ng planning. Okay. And of course, the maintenance of that planning process. Okay. Once na merong plano, then execution, then meron na tinatawag na maintenance. Okay. So, just to summarize this participatory planning process, So one in which all the stakeholders are involved, nandun na, is often the most effective and inclusive way to plan a community intervention. A participatory process provides community ownership and support of the intervention, information about community history, politics, and past mistakes, and respect and a voice for everyone. It also takes time, care, mutual respect, and commitment. So, community initiative to, kailangan dapat may participation ang lahat, particularly sa planning. So, before we go to resource mobilization, let's take a pause or let's take a break.